So tell me when you're going to do it. Put a deadline on it. You know, give me, is it going to be 30 days from now? It's going to be 60 days from now. And so as us as leaders, we need to lead. When you sponsor someone in this business, first of all, just decide what their dream is. And I can tell you what it is. They want to change their life. They're tired of where they're at. And 5 years from today, they're going to be right there if they don't change something. Okay, now you have the answer. And then some of us sign them up in the business. And that's all we do. We just sign them up. We don't engage them. We don't spend the first 30 days of the business building their business. I say, if you sponsor someone's business and they're not enrolled in 30 days, you failed. They didn't. You did, as their sponsor. You didn't set up three-way calls. You didn't get in there, engage with their people. You didn't get their list made. You didn't do the things you need to do to build the business. That's your fault. So lead. You know, we're so afraid of, you know, I hear the word icky, 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 and I get that, but we're so afraid of being pushy. If pushy here is here, most of you live here. Oh, I just don't want to be pushy. Don't be pushy. Lead. Take leadership of the people you bring in the business. Set up dates and times on it. Create accountability. The first 30 days, get them there. Help them break 2 emeralds. Get them to diamond in 60 days. Jeremy and I were talking the other day. You know, why 90 days? Why 90 days? There's a guy I've worked with a little bit in Temecula. He went diamond in 4 days. Okay? Why 90 days? Why stretch it out? You know, listen, you know, I say this all the time. Your life is going to be struggle, okay? And that's a whole lot less painful than regret. And so you are going to pay a price for success. You're not going to be a 5-star, 6-star diamond, 7-star, 8. You're not going to cakewalk there. Success is not a surprise. You know, you think Lisa all of a sudden went 6-star and goes, this is pretty cool. How did I get here? Okay? You think Melanie did it? You think Jeff did it? You don't show up successful and go, oh, this is surprising. You plan it out, and you work it, and you go through the struggle, and you keep focusing on that dream, and keep going back to why you're in. And you tell me this culture of what we have. That's why I believe in meetings. That's why I so believe in these kind of meetings, because when someone comes here, they're going, whoa. You know, we were talking last night about doing a briefing, and Jeff made a great point. I don't think we need to do a briefing, because by the time we're done, if you're a coach here, you're going to understand what we are. You're going to understand what we're doing. We're impacting lives. We're changing the world one person at a time. That's what we do. You want to make money doing it? Jump in with us. It's pretty cool. Plus, you got all these friends and support system and relationships. We sat in a leaders meeting last night in a circle, and one person after another sharing their story. Some people hadn't even heard it. Leaders that are leaders in the business crying because that story's impacting their lives. You all have a story. So Jeff was sharing at the leaders meeting. You all have a story. The problem is your song hasn't been sung because you're living this quiet life of desperation. Just like so many people out there. But you know, for all of us, there comes a time when we got to stop. We got to draw a line in the sand and we go, that's it for me. I'm done doing this. I'm done living this life of desperation. I'm done just making all of my excuses of my life from the past of what I can't do because of what's happened to me. And it's time for me to stand up and move forward and become significant in some people's lives. And all of us are going to face that moment. I call it the aha moment. It's when I get it, right? I always talk in the beach parties about all of a sudden somebody gets it. And the thing that's great about this business, the day you sign up is your birthday, the day you start is always not the same day. You ever notice that with your coaches? There's an incubation period. Incubation of fear. Incubation of low self-esteem. Maybe for some of you, if you're not giving them the information, incubation because they don't know what to do yet. I want to speed all that up for them, right? And the way I speed all up for them, every time I sit down with them, I'm talking about their dreams. You should know, every coach you have, you should know what their dream is. It should be written down. You should know it. Because I'll tell you what, if Jeremy's in my downline and he calls me up when I'm on the phone and say, Jeremy, before you even get started, let me talk about that dream, man. Remember what we're going to do? Remember when you get free and you don't have to go work anymore and you can be that baby boy and you can retire up young and enjoy your life and coach every team? Remember we talked about that? Okay, I just want to remind you because, man, I haven't forgotten that. Because the people I coach, the people I work with, let me tell you, their dream becomes my dream. If that's your dream, I'm there with you. We're not going to fail because we're going to do it together. Okay? But I want them to focus on that every day. I want it to be written down. I want them to write a vision statement about what it's going to be like 12 months from now. And every time we're going to visit that. If I call them, I don't care what kind of meeting we have on the phone, we're visiting their dream. So that we can go back to what it is that beats in their heart every single day. And you know, for most of us, again, it goes back to this thing. We're just living this hopelessness in our life. And we want to believe in each body of work. We just want to believe it. And let me tell you about you as coaches. If I get in the business and I don't understand network marketing, I've heard from all my family that it doesn't work, guess what I'm going to believe in? I'm going to believe in you. Because I'm not sure Beachbody will work for me. But you know what? I believe in you. And you're the one who who showed up at my house. You're the one who made me go to the attic and open these dreams and put them on my table. Now, Coach, you owe me. Man, let me just watch you. I want to watch you model leadership. I want to watch you do your exposures, like Todd talked about. I want to watch you do the business. So allow me to do that. Because my belief in the beginning has to count on you, Coach. Because that's what coaches do. Coaches that are great coaches create belief in teams, right? That's what you do. And so do that for me. And be that for me. And if you do, I'll stay in long enough to get it myself. Whether it's at a weekend like this, or whether it's at a summit, or summer success tour, whatever it is, there's going to come a time where I can get it for myself. But until then, I'm watching you. So you bring somebody in this business, how dare you not build a business? How dare you not change pins every 90 days to model success, to create belief? Because that's what they're looking at, you guys. That's what we're about. That's what the dream's about. Theirs isn't big enough yet, yours is. So we expand, where people expand people's dreams. I take them where they are, but I always want them to know where they can really go. Because that's the greatest gift you will ever give a human being, is when you reach into their life, into their heart, into their soul, and you speak into it, and you give them a belief that they never had before you showed up. That's a great gift. When you do that, they become dreamers. And your greatest blessing in the business won't be standing on a stage at Summit as a 15-star diamond. Any of you here. It'll be the day when you sit in that audience and you've got 5, 15 stars on stage. And you're sitting there just like there's Kleenex boxes going everywhere because you're sobbing. Because you know why? Because you knew them the day they got started. You knew them when they didn't believe in themselves before. You knew them when they just had these eyes, these puppy dog eyes looking at you, going, you really believe I can do it? You really believe I can do it? You said, yes, I do. And you're going to sit in that audience and you're going to be a wreck because you know just your interest in their life, your significance in their life, the times you spent when no one else was there, the times you spent on the phone when they called you and said, man, I just got a vent, I had a bad day, and they're crying on the phone and you're listening, you say, that's okay. The times when you're with them and you don't say a word, you're just quiet, but you're sitting next to them. And all you have to do is just be there. Right? Just sit next to them and be there. Those times are valuable to them. Sometimes what we say isn't half as important as just being there. And as coaches, that's what we need to do. And that's why we get down in our group. And that's why we don't just work with our personally sponsored. We find people under them that have hopes and dreams. And those big old eyes that say, do you think maybe someday? And so is that a lot of responsibility for us to be a dream weaver? Is that a lot of responsibility for us to have to build it so they'll build it? Heck yes it is. But you know what? That's what we want. That's what we've been designed to do. The happiest you'll ever be in your life is you're in the trenches of life. And every day you're gulping life down, and you're not sipping at it. You're gulping it down, and you're going after it with everything you got. And you're exhausted at the end of the day. And some days you just don't know if you can go one more day. And you get up the next day and you muster up enough strength to go one more day. And why do you do it? Because there are about 8 or 10 coaches you know that are watching your life. Strong accountability? Yes. But it's what's going to move you from where you are to where you need to go. So if you get that part of this business, then when you visit your people, when you do exposures, when I talk to somebody that's brand new in the business, I say, what do you do? Oh, I work here at Staples. Do you enjoy it? No. Magic question. What would you love to do? Simple way to exposure. What would you love to be doing with your life right now? I'd love to be home with my kids, or I'm an artist, or I'd love to paint, or I'd love to be a photographer. So, oh my gosh, do you have a way of doing that? I really don't. Gosh, we need to get together. I want to sit down with you. I got to show you what we're doing. I can't promise you anything. Because the day you do that with them, you've just engaged a person. Because what we need to do when we speak to people doing presentations and exposures, we need to listen with our eyes and our heart. Because words come out of their mouths. Sometimes they're defensive. Sometimes they're fear. Things come out that aren't what they're really saying. I want to know what they're really saying. When someone says this really isn't for me, you know what they're saying is, I don't think I'm the kind of person that can do it. Why are they saying that? Because I'm not good with people. That's what they're saying to you. And I say, would that be your only challenge? Then great, don't worry about that because I'm going to work with you. We're going to do it together. Right? So there's not an excuse that will hold in this business. But people are going to throw them out to you to test you to see if you can walk through them. To see if you're really capable of leading them the way they want you to. Instead of somebody saying, well, this isn't for me. Okay, well, it's not for everybody. You walk away. And I'm going to tell you, yes, it is for everybody. Don't leave it. You know, don't leave it. The yellow light. Stay, right? Stay. Don't go green light running through it. Stay because this person's reaching out.